Hello, friends. Welcome to our series India After Independence. Let's begin our topic. One particular instance of regionalism raising its head is in form of Sons of the Soil doctrine since 1950s. It holds that a state and its resources specifically belong to a particular cultural or linguistic groups inhabiting in that state. It creates a notion of us for insiders and them for outsiders. Outsiders are not regarded sons of the soil even if they have been residing there since long. To harness the employment and economic opportunities, this doctrine was used along communalism, casteism, and nepotism. As migration into major cities accelerated after 1951, urban areas specifically became the playfield of this doctrine, as insiders were gradually reduced to minority in these cities, as these areas witnessed acute struggle for middle class jobs and other opportunities. Failure to create new employment opportunities created more competition in 1960 and 1970. It particularly flourished in states of Maharashtra, Assam, and Telangana, and was primarily led by urban middle class as people in these areas had little tradition of migration as compared to other states like West Bengal, Kerala, etc. Worst among these was one led by Shiv Sena in 1960, which was more antagonistic towards South Indians, especially Tamilians. However, regional chauvinism has not posed a great challenge to national unity after 1960s and 70s. DMK has contented itself by changing the name of state and its capital city. Shiv Sena has turned to Hindu communalism instead. There are occasional flares like violence in Assam and rhetoric of Maharashtra Nirman Sena, but they are only limited in their intensity. Now, India's role in international arena. Korea War and non-alignment policy, and a Second World War left Korea divided and hostile to each other. India supported US resolution in 1950 in United Nations when North Korea invaded South Korea and condemned North Korea as aggressor. However, US got miffed when India abstained from another resolution calling for an armed intervention. US sent its forces under leadership of General M.C. Arthur without a UN approval and crossed the 38th parallel and marched into North Korea. China warned US on this and came into defense of North Korea and fight ensued. US moved another resolution calling China aggressor, though in reality it was US which was aggressor and India voted against it. India was only line of communication between China and US, and after long efforts both sides agreed to hold ceasefire and recognize the same boundaries which they wished to change. A neutral nations repatriation commission was formed under Indian General Thimayya's leadership to repatriate soldiers. Korean War was a test of non-alignment policy of India and its foreign policy. In whole turn of events, India first miffed USSR and China when it termed North Korea aggressor, and then miffed US when it abstained from UN vote and later voted against US resolution calling China as an aggressor. India didn't dilute its stance in difficult circumstances. As in the same period, China attacked Tibet without taking India into picture. India even supported permanent seat of China in UNSC, which USSR didn't like. India also needed US help to meet challenge of food security during famine. However, later everyone acknowledged the stance of India, and the incidents proved to be a sound testimony of genuineness and worth of non-alignment policy. Indochina, today's Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia. Indochina was on brink of becoming theater of Cold War in 1950. US was goading France to continue its efforts to occupy the region, and China was getting ready to intervene if US comes into picture. Indian leaders held intense negotiations for maintaining peace and even declared such intention in the Colombo Conference 1954. Finally, after much parleys, India was successful in assuring China that it should not intervene and also extracted promise from France that it would now allow US to have a military base in the region. As a result, India was appointed chairman of International Control Commission, which would supervise the import of foreign armaments in Indochina. These commission was later subverted by US, and Indochina did become a theater of anti-communalism crusade of West, but same peace efforts initiated by India were followed by the regional leaders later. Suez Canal episode. Suez was nationalized by Nasser in 1956, and this made UK and France apprehensive and they demanded international control over it. However, India asked both sides to restrain and suggested a formula allowing Egypt to control canal, but with an advisory role for users at London conference, which was widely appreciated. But UK and France perceived it as a future irritant in terms of trade route use, and they ultimately supported Israel attack on Egypt and their control of Suez Canal. These attack was widely condemned as negged aggression by India, US and UN, and as a result withdrawal of forces started to take place under UN supervision, in which India also lent help in form of peacekeeping forces. Thank you.